What's going on, everybody? Impromptu meeting here. It's Comics Corner, and you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, I was the commentator that was mentioned last at the end of the credits
Wow!
for the inaugural tournament, a VOD that you can watch now on this same channel.
I don't like that he's trying to say that. Like, y'all know how it is when you introduce somebody that do the most. You got to say them last. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You can't mention them in the same breath as everybody else. Anyway,
Call me extra. I just want that written down for the document. He just called me extra. I'm not extra.
He's not extra. He's integral. Yeah. Now what? Say something about that.
I don't have a follow up because unlike you, I'm not trying to waste the kind viewers' time. You just
We received word. We received word of the developers of Bleach, Rebirth of Souls. They have heard the cries of the community. That's what we'll say. And in an effort to rectify some of the issues that people have been griping about, apparently there's a patch being released. So I think how I'm going to do this is I'm going to read this. You people will see the thing on the screen. But I'm going to read it. It says two Bleach Rebirth of Souls players. Greetings. I am Suzuki, the producer of Bleach Rebirth of Souls. Thank you very much for playing our game. In this letter, I would like to share some information about upcoming updates. That suggests more than one. We are closely monitoring and reviewing the feedback we have received from all of you. We are aiming to make adjustments and implementing features to ensure a more comfortable and enjoyable gaming experience. One of the most requested features is ranked match, and we are currently considering its implementation. However, before we can implement this feature, we feel it is necessary to further refine the overall game environment, including character balance and competitive play. We are planning an initial round of adjustments and an update scheduled in April 4th. It says in April 4th, but it should say on, but I digress. We will continue to make adjustments and improvements to ensure that you can enjoy Bleach Rebirth of Souls even more in the future. We greatly appreciate your continued support. Now, when I first read this, I was real regular until I read April 4th. If you don't know, it's April 3rd right now. So I said, oh, right? And I kind of wanted to, I want to discuss very, very lightly, some of the things that you might think may change, as well as let's discuss what a ranked mode might potentially look like or what it might need. And there's one more change that we're gonna discuss, but I feel like we'll both have this point, but I'll give you the floor.
okay. An immediate change that needs to be made that I think that it might be too soon to ask for April 4th, but I definitely expect room match and free match to be overhauled.
Okay.
They have to. There's no way that they don't.
Yes.
To put things into perspective, here at Comics Competitive Corner, we are a small team.
Yes.
Globku, is it Keon? I don't want to mispronounce his name.
I think it's actually Q-on, even though you know how the Q makes the noise it's supposed to make. I get what you're saying, but I think it's Q-on for real.
Q-on or Keon, whichever one, forgive me. It's not that I don't care. I'm just not going to harp on that for that long. They have a significantly larger team. They were doing the exact same share screen thought process that we were running a week earlier. That means that there needs to be an overhaul. There needs to be spectator mode. Rooms need to be larger than 2 people. You have your own free match experience, so I'll let you speak to that. But I didn't even get to free match. It's just the fact that if you join into room matches for the first time, they kick you the first time, and the second time it'll actually put you in the room correctly. Like, there's just, I think that's the first thing that immediately gets overhauled, because that it just doesn't work. It's
Right.
not even a bug. It just utterly doesn't work.
One of the things that was taking me out, you just said it, you kind of spoke to it briefly, but I was attempting to play some free matches one night. I was like, I just want to play a couple matches of Bleach before I go to bed. And I hopped into the online free match thing, and I sat and waited for matches for like an hour and some change, and never got one. Like, not, it wasn't like I got one eventually. Like, I never got a single match. And so that, to me, is indicative of a problem. Like, there are some games, so perspective, I play Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ is not the most populated game right now, just given the changes in the way the state of the game is. And I could wait probably like 10 minutes, and I'll get at least 2 to 3 games in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. It feels like a long time where you're sitting in front of the screen waiting for it. So you can imagine how long it feels. You know what I'm saying? You went into training mode and it just never got a hit ever. That's a lot to me. You spoke about spectator mode, and I think that they understand that that's something that needs to happen like immediately. Like, there's no way that they can launch or do this next update with no spectator. That makes no sense. People are actually itching to play this game with each other and against each other and to show it. And if you want your game to flourish, especially in a competitive setting, which I feel like you've created it in a way that is geared towards that. So help the community help you.
Between those things, spectator being key, but not just that, or not just inside the space of that like immediate space of spectator, but expanding rooms to something that, to me, I would hope. Honestly, in a perfect world, that's a lot to ask, but in a perfect world, I would like 10 to 16 per room.
Yeah. Something like Demon Slayer.
Yeah, and then something that's a little more, because I think the other thing, one of the things that people don't consider, that even though we're new, I think about, when you're running something, you think about like all the small intricacies and the different types of tournaments that you can run, and things being like more community based, whatever the case is. Like, your brain doesn't just stay inside the box of single elimination tournament or double elimination tournament. Round robins are possible if we can fit more than 2 people in a match or in a room. It's easier to do that. It's much easier to sit on. Even if we had to, we don't need to. Let me look at the camera when I say this with very clear intent. We do not need to. We should not have to share screen. However, if we were to, it's easier to share screen and have people drop off and jump up to the top. Or jump up into the next match slot as you go on. If it's 16 or 12 to 16 or 10 to 16, whatever number you'd like to land on, as opposed to jumping from share screen to share screen to share screen to share. Like, again, I use it because it shows the disparity. 2 different sides of the spectrum. We're very new. I completely understand that. Goku, Kion, forgive me. Again, they have all the intricacies necessary a team. They were doing the same exact thing. They were jumping into share screens. There was a match, I can't remember the exact match, but Glob couldn't get a match to pop up, and he was like, "This is just what happens when you have share screen. Everyone's Wi-Fi isn't going to have the same stability, and you have to jump across the bounds to get there." Like.
And notice we didn't make a complaint about the netcode itself, because I believe that the netcode is kind of to be expected. And to me, I didn't feel a match that felt too insanely laggy. So I don't think that's one of the areas in which they needed to improve necessarily.
Honestly, I don't think it's horrible netcode, but I also know that I have to be fair. Being competitors, being tournament organizers, we collectively are on hardwired connection, and that's not everybody's experience. So to those that may have netcode problems, you can leave that in description in the comment box below. Maybe you're having those problems, but how does Wi-Fi affect you? Because it just doesn't affect us. Like, it's just not a problem I have. So I'm not gonna. That's the only reason why I didn't bring up netcode.
Ironically, I probably could. Now that we're thinking about it, the problem that I had before I was plugged in. when I was trying
Yeah.
to get matches to play, and we would play through half a match, and it would just cut.
Yeah.
Just randomly because I was on Wi-Fi connection, and the only thing that changed that or fixed it was a wired connection. To me, that is indicative of an issue as well. However, what did I want to talk about? I wanted to kind of segue into just some of the we got to talk about what we think the ranked matches could entail, how they would be set up. Like, what do you think is a good way to set up something like that?
So personally, I know they won't do it, but I have a preference to it. I have a preference to an elo system, individual character boards, and then over like an overall world character board. Because as you know, we main different characters, and I've told you on many occasions that I want to be good at more than one character, but I want to be respected with more than one character. I don't think that ranked matches can be just like straight plain all the way through, especially now, right? I think that you should have number one Bankai Ichigo, number one Aizen, there needs to be a way to have like per character each board, even if you only do top 25. I know this is extremely stressful on developers. I understand. I have a relative idea of how much real work would go into that. I fully get it. But if you're gonna have a ranked system where it's not, you're running like a fighter style or even Demon Slayer style, where you're running you have switch tech involved and using more than one character at once. There needs to be individual boards, like the number one Grimjow, the number one Byakuya. That's how you build. That's how a game survives. To me. Having those individual people, having those individual spaces, like being able to thrive, and then having those people compete.
Ironically, when we talked about this a second ago, I don't think ranked can thrive if free matches don't even work. You know what I mean? Like, because ranked kind of hinges on the idea that you would just be able to queue up and wait for someone who's who's somewhere else waiting for a game as well, and is trying to rank up. You know what I mean? So I think that issue, whatever that bug is that is creating that situation, needs to be handled. I think that a good ranked system needs a proper balance, and I think they have the good opportunity to make sure that we don't have the type of rank system that awards people without like just cause. And I know that to me is the stressful part for developers too, because there's plenty of rank systems where it's like you get either like overly penalized for a loss, or you get overly, rewarded for a win, which incentivizes people simply to play the game in the cheapest and most boring of ways instead of actually developing the skills necessary to be better than your opponent. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I agree, but I also feel like it's all a matter of how they break down the ranked system itself. Because if they go like this is not work here. If you keep it in keeping with the things that we've mentioned prior and mentioned something new, the difference between fighters rank system and like Rivals or Overwatch 2 rank system respectively are they're drastically different to me. There are tiers, and there are small tiers instead of larger tiers, so like bronze 1, bronze 2, bronze 3, whatever the case may be. I think if you go that route, you may actually get a little bit more. You'll get a little bit more balance. I think you'll have a better chance to have people that are closer in rank than expected. People like us that have been playing for a while should just jump through some ranks to like immediately. But those that haven't been able to like deep dive into the game and are just all right with certain characters and don't know strings and don't block on time, those sort of things, they should have a slow creep. I don't think they should just be able to jump from rank 1 to rank 2, whatever that may be.
Right. And I think that whatever patches, because they're obviously talking about the competitive nature of the game. I think that whatever they choose to patch in and or out of the game, I think they need to really be considerate of that, because I think some of the exploits that the glitches create in the game would allow, like you just said, people who are not necessarily as skilled to like literally exploit the game mechanics to a point where a player who knows actual routes and has taken their time practicing the game could lose to a stupid infinite. You know what I'm saying? And now you're losing rank points, and they're gaining rank points, climbing the ranks, because they know one infinite combo.
That's very true, and I also think this is we're entering into that full scale territory.
Yeah, I know.
But even just to do that, to actually be competitive versus non-competitive, because you have too many situations where even in the clips that you and I have both seen, bro, sometimes y'all just gotta block, and it's necessary for them to have to be at that like low rank. You get. Let me finish one thought at a time. I think it's necessary for them to have to be at that low rank to start to learn nuances, and to be even more fair, y'all probably should have just started with a rank system so that people that wanted to just jump in and be good immediately, that's how they can figure it out. Because I know there are plenty of people that didn't lab characters, won't lab characters, didn't play story mode, and have no like connection to the original IP as well. So like, there's just so many things that they need to do to not even just compete, just learn to play the base level game.
Yeah. In
order to just understand the concept.
Yeah, I definitely think this game was 100% an eye catcher for the Bleach fans. But then when you get into it, I really do think that they tried a lot to take the essence of a lot of fighting games and to try to place it into what we believed and perceived as like an arena fighter, but to me doesn't really play like a traditional arena fighter.
I doesn't agree with that. The only thing where I may not even necessarily offer pushback, but just offer an extended version of that thought is, to everyone that likes the game because you're familiar with the IP, I'm very glad for you all to finally have a game that you can call your own. Please give developers time, because some of y'all folks is nuts. I'm not saying the game is perfect. Before anyone jumps in the comment section and is like, no, I don't like the game. It's fine to not like things. Let them get through a couple patches, because this patch doesn't. I'm not gonna say this patch is forced, but this patch seems like y'all might have bullied somebody into doing something that they weren't ready to do yet, or weren't immediately prepared to do. Like, it wasn't a part of like their map, so to speak.
Yeah.
Give them a couple patches. Let them get some air. Let them get some air to breathe. But I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of complaints. I think there's a complaint for every technically unusable online. Other than that, I've seen someone have a be kind, which is weird to say to grown adults, but have grace. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Well, I am actually really looking forward to this. I'm interested to see what they choose to do with the characters and the balance. I intentionally didn't try to get into everything that we actually would like to be talking about. I just gave y'all a little sweet taste, but there will be more to come in the following days. So please stay tuned for that. I think I can go ahead and wrap it up. It's Comics Corner, it's Comics Competitive Corner specifically. Join the Discord if you want to find some interesting and competitive matches. We have the YouTube channel, which is what you're seeing right here. Anything else that you need to find is going to be in a link in the description down below. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for watching this. Anything that you would like to say?
Hey, he didn't say it. So y'all gonna learn. I'm gonna look at the camera and I say, y'all gonna learn. He real nice to y'all. I welcome all smoke. You can drop your gamer tag in there. You don't even have to greet nobody. You just drop your gamer tag in there. If you're on PlayStation, you can see me. Throw in crossplay too, by the way. Don't know how we didn't mention that, but crossplay is.
Oh yeah. We need that. I don't know how that's gonna work, but we need that.
PC, I'm sorry. Y'all gonna have to kick it, because I still don't think they figured y'all out all the way. But Xbox, PlayStation, I welcome all the smoke. Are they on Switch? Are they on Nintendo? Is that a thing?
Not yet. They'll probably
Alright,
be on
cool.
the Switch 2 that just got announced today. Well, yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
But we'll see.
Yeah, no, that's all I got. I welcome all smoke. Win, lose, or draw. 2 out of 3. Don't win one and dip. Don't do that.
Please don't win one and dip. I promise I'll never play you again. I in real life I will not play you again. Oh
my
man.
goodness. No, that's all I got. I'm good. I just want to be sure. I just want to be sure. I'll play anybody. Win, lose, or draw. I'm not scared to lose. I want to climb the rank leaderboard, so I'm not scared to lose.
You might y'all might get smoked though. That's all I'm saying.
You might. I got some TOD. I do. I know them off the top of my head. Button notation and all. But it's cool. No beat.
He's prepared. Well, that's been the video, man. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. We're not stepping outside. All right.
Yeah, no, just step outside.
We're out of here. Thank y'all so much.
Please don't take